Hello, everybody, and welcome to ENDCAST episode 30. Yep, we're reaching 30 episodes.
Dude,
How do you
we're
feel?
getting there. I feel old, that's why.
30 episodes per week, that's 30 weeks. 30 weeks. 30 weeks divided by how many months in a year? No, you do first weeks. And so you're looking at almost 10. Wow. We're reaching the double digits here. Close. Just close.
Yeah.
But for everybody that's new and everything here, let me just check the audio and make sure it's running on the computer correctly. Yep, it is. So, people, welcome. Episode 30. Usually, for the newbies, we'll do 10-15 minutes of tech, video games, and then the second section is video games. Then the third one is other news, which there isn't pretty much ever anything there, but...
Yeah. Hey, sometimes we have it. It's fun talking about like that one with the gamer girl and them drinking or her bathwater or whatever.
No, the bathwater.
Or not drinking, but her selling it.
Oh yeah, that bathwater. I wonder what happened to it. What ended up? I haven't looked it up.
I don't know.
But I even forgot about it.
But yeah.
Thanks
those
for
are fun
reminding
topics to talk about, so maybe we should do those in the future more on those ends.
If you know what happened to the bathwater, let us know. Did you buy some? Anyway, let's jump straight into the tech news. Over here, it's Orvin, like always.
Yeah.
And
I'm the only guest.
And Wardo7 for me on the social medias, and Orvin13 for him, but he won't be able to reply, but he'll be able to read your stuff.
Should I just not do that and do another?
I just open a new one.
Else?
Yeah, just open a new one.
That's what I probably should.
So let's hit it up. So start off, we got 9to5Mac reporting that Wi-Fi 6 has officially launched, and the iPhone 11 phones, Pro and normal, are compatible with the Wi-Fi 6, which is 802.11ax. It's just more power efficient and smarter when deciding and managing how many devices and how they connect.
Yeah, and it draws out less power as well, which is a huge plus. You'll be able to have your battery last longer. That's a huge thing that people don't realize, is that with the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, that drains a lot out of your battery. That's the reason why I usually turn off my Bluetooth as much as I can. Sometimes even my Wi-Fi, when I'm not using my phone and I need to charge it real fast. So
yeah, they do consume only the LTE, the modem consumes more than Wi-Fi and Bluetooth put together.
Oh, jeez.
So actually, let me give you a hint on iOS. Apple tries to rely on Wi-Fi data whenever it's on instead of the modem because it takes less power. So just a hint. Now you know.
Well, you have Wi-Fi and then you have your data. You're connecting through cellular, and then you also have Bluetooth, and all those are constantly draining your battery.
Exactly, but they'll try to prioritize the Wi-Fi so it doesn't, because it consumes less power than the modem.
That'll be great.
Let's see. Oh, Saudi Arabia, look at that. In my news. Anyway, the other, moving on to Cold of Mac, they reported, and these are the news people on the tech that stuck out. There's quite a few that I want to mention that I did not get an article for. But anyway, I'll try to get these out of the way and then jump into the one that popped into my head. But one of the iPhone's 11 hottest features coming to older models, which I was excited, which I forgot during the announcement, but it is you can record your, you'll be able to record from 2 cameras on the XS. So that is not just an iPhone 11 Pro or 11 feature. One article, though, that came out just recently, so let me give you context. Apparently, remember, Warren, in the last episode I read an article that said the iPhone 11 Pro is going to have 6 gigabytes of RAM?
Yeah.
So then they found out in Xcode, with the final version, that it actually comes with 4. But then there was conflicting reports now, and today there's a new thing, since the actual phone's reaching people's hands and they're able to disarm and disassemble it.
Disarm it.
This is going to take over your life. Stop it, Skynet. No, Siri's too dumb to be able to do Skynet.
Hey, they're upgrading.
They're upgrading her voice. Let's see. So, apparently what they found, and still due to probably be confirmed by the end of the day, but apparently there's 4 gigabytes of system RAM dedicated to apps and stuff, and then there's 2 gigabytes of RAM dedicated to just the camera system.
Dude,
to be able to simultaneously switch between the images, the 3 cameras.
It definitely tells you how really what this is all about is for the cameras. Like
Yeah.
that's the next jump in what they're trying to do is improve that whole camera system.
Literally, like this
Yeah,
looks
like
to be the
everything
biggest.
points at it because you look at everything else that came with the new phone and even iOS 13, and you had the game aspect of it with arcade, but really the camera aspect of it improved a lot with like improving the camera layout as well. Dude, it's so much nicer.
Yeah, they definitely are going hardcore on cameras, and if you notice the iPhone, let's see, kind of paraphrasing here, I feel like this is the biggest jump in camera ever since the iPhone 7, I would say, with a double lens.
I know there's some of those phones that have like 10 cameras on it or something. Like, what is it, the flip one has 6?
Yeah.
There's like one
Six and
here
stuff.
for there and then another. It's like crazy how many it has. But you know, like, just because you have a bunch of cameras doesn't mean it's a better phone for
I
taking
feel like
pictures.
the camera, how many cameras your phone has is starting to become the, back in the day, and still even to this day a little bit, but not as prevalent, is the megapixel count. Everybody would be like, hey, my camera's got 20 megapixels, and most phones only have 7, but this phone has 20, but the megapixel camera, like, it's just garbage. I remember back in the iPhone 4 to iPhone 5 days, there was a lot of bash on Apple for having low megapixel counts,
Yeah.
but they still were one of the best, if not the best, camera on mobile with the lowest.
I think it also had to do with their software that they
there's
put in
the
with
software
it that makes a huge difference because it, you know, the way it focuses, how fast it does that versus other cameras and or the software that it's used in other phones, and what was the other, and then the way that they have certain features that you can edit stuff on the fly, and then even with the 11 coming out where it's able to do that grain, like, you know, in the sweater that they had.
Yeah.
Where you can see more of that, and that's based more on the software.
Yeah, they were saying actually lots of reviews that I've been catching up on the last day or two. I've been reading a lot about, one thing that sticks out a lot is night mode. They say it's definitely better than the Pixel, which is good because Pixel was like the king of night mode taking. Which we'll see, by the way, people. We'll see what Google does with the next Pixel, which is coming out halfway through October. So we'll see if they improve their night mode and surpass Apple's.
Well, also with the night mode, they added it so developers can use that and implement that into features.
That's true.
And that's going to be hugely, like, if actually you have a lot more people doing that, then it makes night mode even that much better.
That's true. If you haven't used it, that's the thing with like the night mode. Also, that I've read that Pixel does more Samsung, I would say, style of like when Samsung does their screens, they try to make the colors pop and be more non-life. They're more like fictional, more vibrant, more exciting. Apple tends to go more for the professional side where you want it as real as possible. And so I think the camera, what I've read is that the Pixel kind of takes that approach. Apple is higher quality, of course, but Apple takes more of a natural, realistic look to it than Pixel does. So we might see Pixel come out with more of the Samsung approach. So we'll see. But anyway, they say apparently lots of articles, if you read them, they say night pictures is life-changing, blah, blah, blah. I'm excited for it. I can't afford it. So I tried to apply for the iPhone upgrade program, and they told me no.
Oh.
They haven't told me why. So I'll check that out. But anyway, I'm still okay, though, anyway. Because one, I don't have the money. And second, my iPhone 11 Max, I got it like end of November. So it's still not a year old.
So the upgrade program is the one where you give them
you
your
can
current
give
phone,
your old one if you want to.
and then they upgrade that in a sense.
Yeah.
And then you pay it. Isn't there like a monthly fee for that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you upgrade every year, then you actually save money because you're only paying half of the period, and then you upgrade to a new one.
Mm-hmm.
You give them the old one. And then there's the argument that you can sell your old one for the amount that you actually saved, so you're not saving. Well, that's a gamble. That's if you actually get to sell it for the actual amount.
Yeah.
So for most people, I think it's just easier to give them that and upgrade every year. But anyway, the iPhone XS Max and the iPad Pro and the iPhone, I think, let me see, I don't think the XR, oh, actually the XR2, you'll be able to combine feeds from multiple cameras. Of course, it is limited to only a maximum of 2, and I think the rumor is the iPhone 11 will have a maximum of 3. So we'll see. I think they even showed at the conference that it was 3, but
I
people,
didn't see that part.
I hear my brother's bike, so we'll probably hear the dogs barking just a little bit, but we'll see. Another big phone that's coming out from BGR, they're reporting OnePlus 7T. If I actually forgot to read this article, dang it, but I think it's October 10th.
I saw that. I was like, what the heck?
And I think this one is So the OnePlus 7 Pro is the 90 hertz display one. I don't know if the OnePlus 7T series is actually above the OnePlus Pro. Doesn't sound like it, but let's see. I don't know, people, but if you're into that, let me know, because I forgot that I added this. But the reason why I added it is because I like OnePlus. I feel like they're good. If you want the bang for your buck on Android side, they're the ones to go for. They really come up with the affordable and mid-range, I'd say, like high-end phone with a mid-range price. And so it's actually, I respect them. Let's see, just a quick announcement for people that don't know. If you shop at Walgreens with your Apple Pay, Apple Card, you get 3% back now, which is interesting. Apple's they added Uber Eats, and now they've added Walgreens.
Do we have a Walgreens here?
Yeah, we have it close by. And so definitely the 3% will be... It's interesting that they're actually adding people, even if it's not Apple Pay, if you use your card, if I remember right, you'll still get the 3%, which is... It's good, people. I like the 3% back. By the way, updates. Apple releases 13.1 developer beta 4. By the way,
was that yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was yesterday. And apparently I just received a notification on the computer from Mac Rumors. They're saying Apple's going to, you don't call it push. They're going to expedite the release date of iPadOS and iOS 13.1 to September 20. What was it? So today's the 19th, September 23rd, I think it was that I read. And so let me just watch it real quick. Yeah, Apple plans to release. Apple now plans to release iOS 13.1 and iPadOS on September 24th. So they're actually cutting a whole week ahead. They're gonna shorten it by a week. So that's actually exciting for people that want to have the Gold Master beta. As soon as that version comes out, I'm deleting my profile, my beta profile. I don't want no more betas from here on.
I can't.
You can.
I only can do it on here. I don't have a backup on my phone.
Well, you can delete the beta profile, and then you'll stay on that. If that's the Gold Master version, the final version, then once the next public version comes out, you'll just update to that instead of a beta.
All right, I see what you're saying.
So like
I did that before, and it messed it up, and I couldn't update it, and then I had to reinstall that.
Yeah, no. So that's what I recommend people. If you, for example, my watch, I waited for the Gold Master to be released of WatchOS 6. I updated my watch to that version. Then immediately after, I deleted the profile, the beta profile, so I wouldn't get any other betas that are coming out. Right now, there's no other beta, but just in case. They pretty much on tech. That was it. I think there was. Yeah, pretty much it, peeps. That's 15 minutes of.
Well, you have arcade, don't you? Talking about. Oh, I guess
in
more
video
on
games.
so.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to put in there and get rid of these real quick. So people, real quick, the video game section. Let's do a transition.
What the fuck was that?
That was the transition. Welcome back. We're here. We're gonna talk about video games today. Comic Book reports that Gears 5 dethrones Fortnite as Xbox most played game. Yeah.
Dude, that's some nice stuff.
Apparently they had 3 million players hop on to Gears 5 thanks to the Game Pass and other stuff. Honestly, I'm surprised. I'm not surprised if it's not gonna last because Fortnite's free and it's made for children that still suck their thumb. And there's tons of those out there. But Gears is more for the ones who already know that
those kids that have tried that, they've gone. They couldn't take it.
Exactly. So Gears, actually, Dr. Disrespect's been playing Gears.
Really?
And he was bashing it at first, and I was like, it's just his show. And I was like, it's because you just suck, bro. That's why you hate the game. And I mean, he bashes everything. He bashes Call of Duty, he still plays it. He bashes Apex, still plays it. He bashes Fortnite and hates it with a passion, but he plays it once a week or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's whatever. It's his show. So I didn't take him seriously, but some people did. Like some people say, I'm subscribing, and then it did affect that whenever he started bashing, I saw his viewer count go down by like 1,000. I was like, okay, dude, like people are a little serious. But then it went back up because it's Dr. Disrespect. Yeah. But anyway, Gears 5, dude, it's been big, and I actually starting. You already know, but for people letting you know, the team actually I got out of the team, and I'm gonna build my own instead. and try to compete in the Gears Esports, which starts on the 22nd or 24th. Which, that's for warm-ups. That'll be, I think, 2 to 4 weeks of just people getting to know each other, doing scrims, and then the official thing starts in a month or something like that.
Dude, that's... I don't know if I'm ready.
I just need to read up on if it's PC friendly, which I wouldn't be surprised if it is. And of course, the article right next to this article says Xbox One currently experiencing issues. This is the thing, people. Xbox Live's been having issues like up the wazoo recently.
Dude, I remember when like Gears came out, like when it came out early, and I think it was like 2 days after that. Like, it just you couldn't access anything.
Yeah, it was going through a rough patch, but Gears 5 is big, and I mean, I'm just glad it was the most played. It's legit against the free-to-play, so that's good.
Yeah, dude, that is a big step forward.
I think
even if it lasts for a blimp in a second in life, but like
it gives hope that these titles they can push through.
It's all about the way you sell it. That's really the key.
The marketing though, like a day or two before the early access was wankers. Like, it was crazy.
But I think a huge thing that contributed to this was the fact that they added Halo characters into it.
Oh, Halo!
And then you get it if you get these characters if you sign up for the subscription to be able to get them. And that's a huge thing. I think a lot of people like. I heard people that are like, "Dude, I'm totally playing it because it has that." Like, no one normally people wouldn't have played it until then.
Yeah, the Halo race and the cameos are actually a huge selling point nowadays. Even Fortnite is doing it because they've had Stranger Things in there. They've had Borderlands cameo. Mm-hmm. They've also had an It cameo, which I didn't look much into it, so I don't know what it was. All I saw was a balloon. Hopefully it wasn't just a balloon.
Just a bunch of balloons flying around. You'll float too, and then you're just like, oh my gosh!
Because Fortnite has had balloons, so all the balloons are red. And then it starts playing the music or the phrase. Yeah. I don't know. Or a dance that says you'll float too or something like that, and then your character starts floating. I actually haven't looked at it, so if it is a thing, that'd be cool. By the way, the reason why we have a Fortnite article in here, even though I've said that we've kind of moved on from them, is because I was impressed by this. And this probably only happens in Apple hardware. Sorry, you haters can go suck it. This thing says that the iPhone X has been updated for 60 FPS on Fortnite. And they said originally that they couldn't do it because it overheated. So what changed?
Optimization?
Right there. Bumpy.
That's a huge thing that usually changes everything. You're like, oh, the hardware can't use it. And like, it's not the hardware's fault, it's the optimization's fault.
Exactly. So
I mean, I guess technically the game's fault.
Yeah, the game's fault. And so it worked, and I was impressed. I was like, okay, I'll applaud whatever technical achievement we can pull off in mobile, even though it is from Fortnite. But because any optimization they do to Fortnite kind of I believe, crawls itself into the Unreal Engine. And then that Unreal Engine thing becomes part of whatever other future games come out on Unreal Engine. And Unreal Engine is a pretty heavy requirement. It's a spec-heavy requirement.
And Unity, I actually been looking up at Unity, and they've been coming out with some really nice, cool features recently.
I've heard that too. They improved.
So they're definitely improving and getting up there. So I would say Unity and Unreal are the two competing.
Yeah, I haven't heard much of anything else.
Yeah, there's a few engines out there, but that's mainly like either for like the app.
A specific one. Like Bethesda, I think, runs on their own engines.
But then you have Halo.
And then Halo making their own.
What is it called?
I'll fetch Halo.
No, not Scarlet. That's something.
If anybody knows what the engine is, please let us know. The engine for Halo.
Oh, dang it! I know
Slip
it's on
Space.
Slip Space, yeah.
Yeah, Slip Space engine. By the way, people, finishing off Touch Arcade reports that those two were from Touch Arcade and then the other one from Call of Duty. But Journey coming out with update control support, which is actually pretty good. And I just mentioned it because I love Journey. And I actually treated it is in the same field to me. Sayonara Wild Heart is almost in the same field like Journey that I'll only play it once and I'll say I enjoyed it and call it good.
A lot of those app games are like you play once and you're done with it.
And that's the issue with, like, do you want to pay $5 for a game like... Because that wasn't cheap. The art in that game is not cheap. The play testing to make sure it actually works, which they could have improved maybe in where you are in the world. Mm-hmm. But besides that, I think it's pretty well done. But for $5, I can see people probably buying it and be like, I don't want to play it again.
Dude, I feel
that was
like
a waste of money.
the free to play, John, you know how it's just taken over the mobile aspect. Like, it's just stagnated the development or progression of games on the phone.
I can see
or
that.
app
It
games.
hurting, the quality that
Because all you need to do is make a game, tons of transactions in it, and you don't need to really put in much effort behind how great the game is.
kind of like those, and I don't mind them. I actually enjoyed it, but I kind of felt like they shouldn't be as big as they are.
Yeah.
Is the ones that play themselves. Have you played the dungeon crawlers like Diablo wannabes?
Yeah, I couldn't do those.
That you actually have an auto play that says auto, and the character
Oh
will
my
go do
God.
its own thing and actually attack and do its spells, heal itself, upgrade, and I'm
so
like, what
those
the?
type of games, I've cheated on all of them. Like, there's probably 5 of them that I've cheated on. But the thing about it, though, is it's really boring.
Yeah, like
It's so boring. Even, like, I'm, like, getting all of this... Because the cheat doesn't make it so I get tons of money or whatever. What it does is it makes it so I can instantly kill anything. So I just go autoplay, and it literally just kills everything. And I'm like, well, there's nothing for me to do.
yeah, like I always feel like, I mean,
like,
some
what
of them
is-
added PvP, but I was like, the PvP itself was pay to win, so I was like,
Yeah, and you know what the worst offenders of this is? The China games, because they don't just do the auto. They do the auto plus the, where it says, okay, you need to click here, you need to do this. Okay, you need to do this to, like, learn the game.
Yeah.
So it automatically tells you, okay, click here, and you're like, click there.
Oh, that's true.
So-
I remember now. Yeah.
Like, you have no control over this entire game. You're just, like, as a spectator. And you're just doing things, and then you hit autoplay, and then it goes, and you're like, I did nothing.
And I actually like, and I'm not bashing them as to like, they're garbage. I'm just bashing them as they're bigger than I feel like they should be. Because I played actually for like straight 2 weeks. I played one of them. I forgot what it's called. I played 3 of them.
Yeah.
The last one was Lineage 2 that I was really excited about. And definitely Lineage 2 has a little less of it. Like, I went from like more automated to less. But after 2 weeks, the novelty wore off. I was like, okay, this is cool. I'm in class because I was in school. I would put it there, like I put it on my desk or in my pocket in autoplay or whatever, or in my bag, and I just leave it there and be like, teacher would take a small break and I'd be like, okay, oh, I'm doing good. Put it back in there, and I just felt cool. But then I was like, okay, this is kind of lame.
So I've had experience, and I know we're going on this a little long, but I've had experience with doing auto bots with a game that's not supposed to have that.
Yeah.
Where you just automatically play it. It does certain things psychologically too you don't realize it does. Like, I actually had crappier sleep because what I would do is I would leave it on
Yeah.
and then I'll go to bed. But my mind was constantly thinking about it though. And when I would wake up, I had crap sleep, and the next thing I do is I go straight there, see what I got, what food I have,
Is it okay?
and then you check everything. You're like, okay, I need to optimize
Am I banned?
some stuff.
I'm not banned. Add one more.
Oh my gosh.
Another 24 hours.
But yeah, it does. Like, I had crappy sleep, and I got to the point where I'm like, I don't think I could do this anymore. Like it is messing me up. Like, because I'm constantly thinking about it when it's auto going. Because
Yeah.
I'm aware that it's doing that, so I'm thinking about it. And another thing that it does as well is it kind of ruins the experience.
Yeah, it does. You're not experiencing per se. But you know what? What's not going to be auto run? Call of Duty Mobile.
Hey, we got bots for that too.
Issue is iPhone 11s don't come with 3D touch. So I have a big
3D touch is so nice with shooter games.
I know, I have a big caveat here. I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to get into it. Like, I like the idea of a Call of Duty on mobile that, of course, you can do whatever you did with Black Ops. I'm still not going to like it, but whatever. But, I don't know, man.
Wait a minute.
Without 3D touch.
If they ever made and invented something where it's like a thing that can just clip on to the bottom of your phone or on the side of the phone, and it almost has like a track pad, and it has 3D touch built into it. That's what you need.
Let's see, I'm trying to see if it's going to have controller
That would
support.
work totally for those type of games. And then you wouldn't have to build it into the phone.
Or then you could just attach a controller too.
Not
But it could
if
be
it's
like the
supported.
3DS when like it had an attachable joystick.
Yeah. It's kind of like that, but it's like has 3D touch and has like
Yeah,
a trackpad.
yeah.
So instead of it, you don't have that grippiness that you have with the glass.
Yeah.
You just have it so it's a smoother, almost like the Steam controller.
Okay, yeah.
And then you just attach that on, and it's still touch.
That's right. It could work. I mean, I'm excited to see. They say it'll have the battle royale mode, which I'm like, whatever. A new battle royale. I'll try it for a little bit and see how long I stick to it, and then get rid of it. But I'm excited for the 5v5s on mobile.
You treat it like it's a whore.
That's what battle royales are.
It's your slide slut pocket. You just put it in there.
I'm excited to see which I hope. What was it? It's just called Call of Duty Mobile. I haven't read too deep into it. I actually pre-registered for it because I'm excited for it to come out.
I haven't done that yet.
But I'm excited to see if they're gonna go Call of Duty Modern Warfare franchise style or Black Ops. Meaning, are the kill streaks gonna be more prominent and more useful than Modern Warfare? Because I actually prefer Modern Warfare's strategy approach of your kill streaks are support rather than the actual thing that kills things.
I feel like it's going to go towards the Black Ops end of it because it was probably the worst offender of microtransaction ever existed. And
yeah, they're probably
in
Call
Call of Duty, and then you add a mobile version of that. It's like Black Ops, but even worse.
Yeah, I can see it. So we'll see the microtransaction. Apparently, Touch Arcade reports that they've talked to some people, and they say that the microtransactions are not. It's more like if you want to unlock stuff, it's not like pay to win, but it's just cosmetics. It's just abusive in a sense. It's kind of like overkill, but they say it's not too bad. But that's the soft launch. We'll see the official launch.
Yeah.
So I'm just holding my breath and see what happens, but I'm excited to see what happens to have an actual competitor on mobile because Call of Duty should have come to mobile a long time ago.
Yeah.
Before I got microtransactions.
A lot of games should have came to mobile. Like a lot of Steam games can come to mobile and it'd be perfect for it, but they don't.
Exactly. Real quick, people, just to finish off for 3 minutes, Apple Arcade so far it came out today officially, but did it pinch your hair?
Dude, that hurt. I was like, ow.
Oh,
my pen totally did that. Okay.
I'm thinking of like, Apple Arcade so far. I played a Lava Run, I think it's called. I actually enjoyed it a lot. The controls were a little weird at first. But once I got the hang of it, you actually play. I don't know if you played it, but you compete with other people and you're running.
Yeah, I haven't played it yet.
There's lava and there's stuff that you have to jump on top of, like rooms, houses, schools, or actual rocks and whatnot.
Brings you back to your childhood.
Yeah, it's just fun. Like you actually compete with other people in the lobby that will try to beat you. You just go past them; they don't push you or anything.
Yeah, I know.
And it's fun.
It's like Ghost.
Yeah.
Ghost Run or Race.
Yeah. And it was a lot of fun. I played on the iPad, and that was legit. What others? I want to try that Ocean Horn one and see what's up now.
So it's not bad. Like you heard my criticism on it, where it's just, it definitely can have more improvements, but it more has to do with like the way that the characters feel.
You said visually, yeah.
Yeah, like there's not enough expression there
Okay.
that really makes them feel alive as characters. But the world itself is amazing. So I would say the world's good. The enemies are definitely lacking in variety. Yeah, and different ways of like dodging, and it's there, but it's a little bit clunky.
Okay.
But for the most part, I will say it's a good game. But you probably play through it once and then be done.
Okay. I think the other one that called my attention was I forgot the name, Light Run or Light something or Shadows of Light. I forgot what it was, but it's kind of like Limbo. But it's
I think I know what game you're talking about.
The characters are actually like attached to like a string or a stick.
Yeah, it's like a puppet type. Yeah.
I played like half an hour of it. I loved it. It was just so unique.
I looked at it and I was like, I'll try you later.
It was so unique that it just reminded me of Limbo in a sense that new like, wow, this is like a simple, fun, unique experience that it's just so simple yet special. But I haven't get past the 30 minutes. They're still introducing. So apparently you'll like there's a light, and you actually control your character plus the light, and the light will cast shadows around the map, and the shadow actually becomes an obstacle or an actual pathway or a bridge for you to be able to pass obstacles and trials and whatnot.
You know, I was thinking about this with the cameras and everything, and how that's changing the AR aspect, and how that's going to change with different games and how they use that.
Yeah.
Because that's another thing is like AR came out and there was a few games, and they're kind of fun just because it was unique, and you're like, oh, that's just fun, but it didn't last very long, and you're just like, it's not optimized enough, and there's a few issues with it, but I feel like hopefully we see more of those in the arcade, more games with the AI.
Yeah, more games for arcade, and then arcade is a safe space where they can actually like do it and be technically, if it is true, the safe haven that Apple's making it, or it seems like it.
Hopefully. Yeah.
They can like say, hey, we have this idea, can you fund us? And if it tanks, we don't lose much compared to like we have to compete with the free-to-play ones.
Does Apple help support some of those developers?
So yeah, apparently it is. Apple provides the investment for the idea to become a reality. And so lots of these games that are on Apple Arcade, they're just like, well, not all of them, but some of them are actual they exist because of Apple Arcade.
So if we help you, then you put it on our platform, and then people play our games.
Yeah.
And then they sign up for subscription.
Yeah, I think the guy, I forgot what he's related to, but he's related deeply into the Final Fantasy, and he's creating one that is just specifically for Apple Arcade.
Because if you really think about it, in the short term, you're losing. Definitely you're losing money there, but in the long term you're gaining developers in your platform, and then it's kind of like you like give somebody like a free sign up, like if they're signing for a subscription, you're like, okay, this is free for a month or whatever, but you're really getting them on, so then they get used to working in that area, and then they like it enough that they just stay, and then over time you get money.
Yeah, very much.
So I could see what they're doing there, and that's a smart idea, and I'm surprised it takes Apple to do it and not anyone else.
A company that stays away from gaming.
Yeah.
And games that we played, pretty much, we talked about it, but I don't have much. I forgot even what I played. I don't think I played too much.
Dude, so Trail Makers is what I'm playing right now, because they just recently came out, and this is on Steam, people. So on Steam, recently an update came out for it. It used to be early access. I bought it during the time because I believed in it. I knew the potential of this game. It's like, when you see a game like Minecraft, you're like, invest in that because you know that there's potential there. And so I did that, bought the thing in early access. I played it. It was okay, but definitely I knew there was things missing that it needed. And they just came out with an update yesterday, played it, and it's amazing. Like they have a race mode where you can just go and race bots, and then you can race people, like the ghost thing.
Not live, but
not live, where you crash into each other and stuff.
Yeah.
But you can do it live, where you can like battle each other and ships and airplanes or whatever, and shoot each other and everything else for fun. But the new thing that came out with the update was what is it called? Stranded Space is what it's called. And you pretty much get stranded on a planet, and then you have to find a bunch of like parts and build a spaceship to go into space. So you're just exploring, and there's like these things are in different areas, hard to reach areas, and so you get to build whatever contraption you want. Like it can like be like a crane, or you could do just a thing that like clamps it, or you can do submarines that like pick it up and go, or just boats as well. And like there's so many different things that you can do there. Or build your own helicopter to pick up these like it's all, some are square, some are like circles, and other ones are really huge ones that you have to like have enough energy or engines or whatever it may be to lift it. But it's really fun for the fact that you can just make anything like Legos, like you just can build it the way you want it, and
it's
you can explore
Trails?
the world. Yeah, Trail Makers.
Oh, Trail Makers! I haven't heard of it.
And it's right now at 33% off, I think, until the 23rd.
If you're interested, people, give it
if you're
a
interested,
purchase. How much is it then with 33%?
So it's at like slightly over $16.
Okay.
But dude, it's so much fun. Like, and it has replayability because of you can just keep on building whatever you want. It's like Legos. You can take it apart, build it, and then it has added a new feature where you can like on the fly switch to different presets that you have. And it seamlessly just breaks apart and then forms into the new one, and then you just... It's pretty awesome.
Anyway, people, one other thing I wanted to cover real quick. If you are actually playing that game, let Orvin know on your new account. Then Just real quick, Mace Windu apparently will show up in a new Star Wars movie according to some theories, based on the fact that he survived the fall. And second, it says that it would be just smart to have a cameo to make the Star Wars older fans just rejoice. I think it'd be nice. And it says he might just appear as a ghost, or
I feel like with this, it's like with all the other characters that they kind of just either killed off or just made look retarded, and they're everyone's favorite characters. And now they take this one, which is also another favorite character. So it's like taking a stab wound and then putting lemon juice in it. And you're like, we're bringing this guy back, and you're like, oh, I'm excited, but at the same time, I know you're going to destroy it.
I think
in some way.
I think he'll probably show up. I think it'd be legit if he shows up as a ghost.
If they do it right.
It's whatever, but if he shows up as legit alive,
yeah,
that'd be actually sick.
And he's not like this guy that lives on an island and drinks out of udders.
I think Star Wars is I just love it so much that the most recent ones actually I don't dislike them. It's just I think they're good. They're not bad movies, I'd say.
It's like you put a bunch of money into something, you will get something good out of it, but you're not going to get a masterpiece always.
So, masterpiece, yeah, that's the one thing. I do feel, though, that the first one was more of a... I don't know, I wouldn't... It's like masterpiece.
It's like the story plot is lacking, but, everything else is on point.
Because it's built upon the masterpiece, so it...
Yeah. It's like you take the universe, and they just put whatever the crap they want in the universe, so the plot in the universe sucks. But the universe is good, and then the amount of money that they put in for animations and everything else is really good. So it's like you get two goods with the bad, and then it's like, it's all right.
So I don't know, but I do feel like I know people, that they're not fans of it.
Yeah, it's not going to build a fan base, in my opinion, with that. It's just going to take fans already there and they're going to leave because they kind of get...
But I do feel like it's too much crap, though. I feel like people complain too much. I actually enjoy them, and it's a different approach towards Star Wars, because if they just recycle, which they recycle quite a bit of it, but then again, what else can you build? I mean, what other approach would you take?
Building off the hearts and dreams of their fans, and they crumbled it. That's the way I see it.
The other one was, real quick, and since we're in movies that I wanted to talk about that caught my attention, was Breaking Bad is actually coming out with a movie called El Camino, or something like that. It comes out October 1st on Netflix. It'll have Jesse Pinkman, and I actually love that one, so that's actually a risk they're taking to see if they'll screw Breaking Bad up or not. But I'm excited. I'm telling them go for it, kind of like The Matrix 4. I'm gonna go for it.
Why not?
If you screw up, then I'll just love the trilogy or the first two movies more.
It makes you love the first more. That's what it does.
And stuff, so I'm all for it. Let's see, what else was it? Let us know if you want Mace Windu, or if you know he's going to be there, let us know. Real quick, I wanted to inform people before we leave, because we got to go in about 1 minute and 10 seconds.
Oh man, I think we're doing good.
Was iPad OS and iOS 13, at least for me and my workflow, is stable enough. And that was prior to having the release date be September 30th for iOS 13.1. But 13.1 is stable enough that I've actually updated my iPad and my iPhone about the day of the iPhone announcement. And it's been stable enough to do my workflow without any issues. So I can recommend you to use it and go ahead.
Yeah, I made a mistake by doing the beta at the beginning.
Yeah, beta's the beginning.
I got a little ahead of myself. I'm like, oh, I could connect my controller? Heck yeah! And then I did it, and I'm like, oh, I can't do anything with it, though.
But now, though, I'm actually excited to try them out now that it's official. Dark mode's coming out for lots of apps. I hope that Instagram needs to come out with dark mode. If they don't, I'm going to stop using it.
They need to start coming out with dark modes on websites, too.
Oh, websites.
Fetch when you're searching
Mac Rumors.
Mac
Rumors and 9to5Mag. 9to5Mag was first, but they actually updated their website to support dark mode based on your device. Your device will tell it. And I love that. The other thing was, before I forget, last news I wanted to talk about was the new Zelda Awakening, Link's Awakening, is actually out.
Yes.
And I'm
going to get Emma to get it, and then I'm going to play it.
I watched the Digital Foundry's analysis, and they say that it's actually good. It is actually way good, but it does suffer on technical issues here and there when it comes to performance. with dropping from 60 to 30 in some areas, and it drops from like 60 to 57, 55.
The game doesn't even look like it demands a lot.
And so they say apparently what Digital Foundry thinks is the issue is the lighting. Some areas will just be too much for the CPU to handle because it can't. And then it runs at 1080p for indoor areas on TV, on docked. And then I think it's 900p, I think it was, or 720, around there. It bounces between there when it's on intense areas. And when you're mobile, it actually goes 720 highest, and then it's 500p when it's running around killing stuff. But on mobile, on the Switch screen, you can't really tell it because it says the art kind of hides the pixelation.
Yeah.
So he says it's legit, so I'm excited to see it.
Dude, I totally want to play that game.
And so Oren's going to try it. If you're excited, let us know. And keep us in touch. Let us know what you want us to talk about next week. If you want to learn about something specific. If this is good enough, then just keep listening. Keep us in touch on the social medias. And wait a second. Oh, yeah, this article. I skipped through it. Dang it. Apple Watch Series 5 CPU and the innards are exactly the same as Series 4. So you're not getting a speed benefit or any of that nature. All the benefits you get is the always on screen and compass, plus international calling in most countries.
That's not worth
for emergencies,
in my opinion.
And so definitely I do believe that Series 4. If you're tight on the budget, then probably just stay happy with Series 4 if you bought that, or go for the Series 3 for $199. But me personally, whenever I get the extra cash, I want the old time display because I wanted to match my clothing whenever it's like on.
Oh my God.
I'll actually match it. That's what I'm excited for. Because I actually put thought into the watch face that I'm using day to day, but then it's like, oh, I'm matching, and no one can see it.
All I see is is it white? No, okay, I'll take it.
So we'll see. But anyway, thanks people. Talk to you all later, and you've been fed.
Peace.